Today we're going to look at graphing and evaluating functions with Desmos. Let's try f of x equals x squared plus 1. You want to type just like you would write, so f with parentheses around the x equals x to the power 2, and then plus 1. Immediately we see the graph, but we can also find specific coordinates by using again our notation. So we put f, and let's say we put the number 2 in. It tells me that's equal to 5. I could do f of negative 4. It tells me that value is 17. So Desmos is taking the value that we give it, it's plugging it into the x, squaring it, and adding 1. This would work for fractions, so f of 3/4. You can see it says 1.5625. If you want that as a fraction, we click the box over box that says it's a fraction, and it changes it to 25/16. If you want to do a bunch of numbers at once, then you could go to the settings and then tell it to add a table. So I went to the gear. Let's go back and show one more time. I went to the little gear where it says edit, and beside the function it says convert it to a table, and then it pops up some standard values, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. You can add more values under, say maybe we want to know 6 or -93. It will give us the values, or you can choose to go back and just type over the values that are already there. So I could put in 7 or 18.35, anything I want, it can do for us. What is nice also is hopefully you see the values I'm putting in here now show up on the graph. So if I put in -3, it says 10, and see when I come down, there's a point there. So the values put into the table appear as specific points that you could touch on the graph. So if there's specific points you want to see on your function, then that's a good way to find them. Let's try one more. Let's say this time I call it g of x, and let's do the square root. So the square root I can get from opening up the keyboard. Here's the square root. Let's do x minus 5. And then I could start saying, like, I want to know g of 9, and it tells me the value. Maybe I want to know g of 15. This time, it doesn't give me the choice to be a fraction because this is an irrational number, so instead it gives us a good approximation for it. Let me move my graph around so you can see it a little better. And I also want you to see what happens if we put in a value that doesn't work for our particular function. So if I put in 0, it says undefined because what I'm looking at is the square root of -5, and that's not a real number. Let's one more time change over and make a table. Notice those first couple of values were undefined, so we would want to put in bigger numbers like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we can start seeing those points pop up on the screen.